Class 11th CBSE. The lesson is the living world. We are going to conclude this lesson today. Today we have to study about the taxonomy, about the systematic and taxonomical categories. So first is the taxonomy. Taxonomy, it is the branch of biology which deals with identification, nomenclature and classification of organisms. It is a branch of biology which deals with identification, nomenclature and classification of organisms. It is the branch of biology which deals with nomenclature, identification and classification of organisms. Actually, we are studying the part that is called taxonomy. It is made from the word taxon. Taxon is called a taxonomy. This term taxonomy was first used by Kendall. Term first used by Kendall. Taxonomy is word derived from the Latin word taxa. And what is taxonomy? It is the branch in which we deals about the nomenclature, about the identification and about the classification of organisms. The second is systematics. Systematics. Now what is systematics? Systematics, you know the name of the scientist who had paid a lot of contribution in the field of the nomenclature. Linnaeus, Carlos Linnaeus. This systematic term was first given by Linnaeus. Okay, term given by Carlos Linnaeus. This term was given by Carlos Linnaeus. Okay, Carlos Linnaeus actually he wrote a book. That is the book on the Systema Nature. The name of the book is Systema Nature. And this term systematic, he wrote a book named Systema Nature, and this word systematic was used in his book the Systema Nature. This word is used in his book Systema Nature. And this taxonomy, he had paid a lot of contribution in this field. So the Carlos Linnaeus is also called father of the taxonomy. The father of the taxonomy. He had a lot of contribution in this field, in the field of the nomenclature. According to Carlos Linnaeus, whatever he wrote in his book, the taxonomy, it is the branch which deals with not only the identification, the nomenclature, the classification, it also deals about the evolutionary relationship. According to in this book, taxonomy is meant with identification, identification, nomenclature, classification, and most important change here, that is the evolutionary relationship. According to him, actually the taxonomy is not only define the identification, nomenclature, classification, it also define the evolutionary relationship among the species, among the organisms. According to Carlos Linnaeus, he divide this system or hierarchy in different form. According to Carlos Linnaeus, the hierarchy is hierarchy of organism is first is the genus, then species, then species, then class, then order, and then variety. But now this variety is somehow missing. In the modern explanation, this variety is removed from that hierarchy. The variety is removed there in the modern categories, modern hierarchy. Now this is the second part, that is called the systematic. Now third thing that we have to study is taxonomical categories. Now what is the taxonomical categories? It is the various level of taxonomy, and the various levels are called taxon. All the organism of one level is somehow related with the other level also. So what is the taxonomy categories? This is actually various levels of organism. It is various levels of organism. Whatever the relation between one level to another level, all the organisms are belong to any of the level. That is the compulsion one. Okay, so we have to actually study about the modern taxonomical categories. Modern taxonomical categories, or we are going to call it taxonomical hierarchy. The taxonomical hierarchy is the wide explanation of all the living species on the earth, whether they are male or they are plants or the animal. It includes all the living species present on the earth. All the living species have some character. On the basis of that character, they are classified properly, and that is called the hierarchy of taxonomical categories. The 7 categories are there. We have to study about all of that. Okay, so that is the modern category or taxonomical hierarchy. Modern categories or taxonomical hierarchy. Taxonomical hierarchy. Okay. Now we are going to start from the lower species, lower formation. Okay. From lower to upper level. We have to move in the hierarchy series from lower level to the higher level. The smallest group is called species. The smallest group is called species. Okay, the species, when they combine together, they form genus. Okay, when genus combine together, they form family. Then family, when families combines together, they form orders. When orders combine together, they form class or classes. When classes combine together, they form phylum. I got a little bit less space, so I am going to rub it again. Okay, same we have to write here. Genus, when genus combine together, it forms family. Family combines together. Family, when combined together, they form orders. Orders combine together. When orders combine together, they form class or classes. When classes combine together, they form phylum. Phylum or division. If animal is there, then it's termed as the phylum. And if plant is there, it terms as the division. Okay, that is the difference between the phylum and the division. And when phylum combine together, the kingdom is formed. And you know very well about the kingdom that you have to study in the next lesson also. Plant kingdom and the animal kingdom. So what is hierarchy? Hierarchy is actually systematic arrangement in ascending or descending order. Systematic arrangement of, it is systematic arrangement of species in ascending or descending manner. Descending manner. Actually, we have to study about this taxonomical hierarchy. In this taxonomical hierarchy, the lower unit is a species and the highest unit is kingdom. We are going to numbering it. Okay, this is first kingdom, then this is second phylum, third is the class, fourth is the orders, then family, then genus, and then species. It means there are 7 steps in the hierarchy of taxonomy. In the modern categories, the 7 steps we have to study about. And first is the species. Lower level is the species. Lower level is the species. Now what is the species? It is the smallest group. It is the smallest group. The smallest group, and whom it is associated with, whom it is associated with most closely related or related organ. Is associated with, it includes most closely related organism. Most closely related organism. Closely related means they actually follow the same gene pool or the same ancestor. Closely related means they follow the same gene pool or ancestor. So they are called the closely related. Species, how we are going to define it? It is a group of closely related organisms which are or which can interpret in nature and produce fertile offspring. It is a group of closely related organisms which can interbreed in nature to produce fertile offspring. The definition, it is a group of closely related spread, which interbreed, in nature and produce fertile offsprings. Okay, so these are the species. This term species is first given by, this term is first used by John Ray. Okay, this term coined by, the species term coined by John Ray. The species term was coined by John Ray. But the biological concept of species is given by Ernest Mann. The biological concept of species was given by Ernest Mann. Ernest Mann. He was the Ernest Mann. All the biological aspect is given by the Ernest Mann. Now, what are the example for the study the species? We must going for one example, one or two example. What is the name of human? What is the scientific name of human? Human are called Homo sapiens. Okay, this sapiens is actually a species. Mangifera indica. Mango indica is a species. Okay, mango, that is Mangifera indica, and this indica is a species. What is a species? You know very well. This is the smallest level of the hierarchy of the taxonomical hierarchy of the taxonomy, and it is actually the group of closely related organisms which fertile together to form the offspring. Fertile offspring means the process of the journey goes on regularly in this way.